bastard sermon, you motherfuckers.
Welcome to another episode of the Bastard Sermon. I'm one of your three hosts, Cody Hucker.
Luke Young. And that's Lloyd being weird.
I was gonna wait. I would
was
sit here in fucking dead silence. For
I
literally
wanted
fucking...
to, but I didn't because I had like fantasies running in my head. I needed to discuss right away because like before we turned on the mic, you had jokingly said, "Right, Lloyd's gonna fuck Cody, okay?" And then like you started to prepare to hit the button, and Lloyd was just like dead stare, like rocking up and down, like yes. And in my head, I started to think like, what would that next episode be? Like the episode after Lloyd dominates Cody, like.
Why does it have to be Lloyd dominating me?
well,
Why can't it be
well,
a gentle? Why can't it be a gentle, nice little like just making love sesh? Why
No,
can't
it's
Does anyone
it's-
who listens to this or heard anything I say believe for a second that that's how that's going to go down?
No, it's all about dominance for sure.
Well, it's my fantasy. We're talking
it's your fantasy.
fantasies here. So
Oh, so that's what you'll be like daydreaming as you cry while
Yes.
your ass is getting split.
correct. Yes,
feel it.
That this was my decision. That if he is fucking me like a brutal animal that I know that he is, it's my decision that he's doing that, and not because I'm duct taped to his bed with a dirty sock that I'm not positive hasn't been used for cum, but I'm positive has been used for cum in my mouth. And
With a fleshlight wedged between his legs so that I can have a good one after the bad one.
God damn. God damn.
Oh man, yeah, you'd be covered in diarrhea and blood though, so I don't think that it would be a fun time for
Just
you.
think that next
Yeah, I've never
episode
done that.
startup would be like Lloyd just excitedly smoking a cigarette. Like, this is an episode of the Bastard Sermon, and like, and I'm just there like he says his name like
And I look
Luke,
like-
and you're just like crying.
And I look like
defeated,
yeah,
just
the
staring
camera
out.
angle changes. It's in black and white, like the flashbacks of American History X. I'm fucking my head shaved. I'm Edward Norton laying in the side of the bed with the Black History teacher talking to me, comforting me as my asshole took 27 stitches. 27.
See, now
Also-
I want to make this episode.
I don't want to back this up and make it real, but you were like, you act like I haven't done that before. Have you fucked somebody with diarrhea and blood?
Hey, you know what? Someone just lived this life with,
Oh, that's the way you took it. I thought you were gonna ask him, "Have you fucked someone for dominance?" And I'm like, "That's why are you?
How
even
else
asking
does he
that?
fuck?
How,
There's
why
no
are
other
you even
way.
asking that?"
Yeah, there's no other way. Last week's episode was enough of a hype fest about Lloyd. It was just fucking Lloyd
I'm
spinning.
sure he was at some bar or at some like show, and some tough guy like eyeballed him, and then he like actually big bodied him just through like presence alone through the eyeballs. And he just like the other guy, the guy who initiated it, just looked down and strolls off sadly into the men's restroom. And then Lloyd just like dominates him right there in the stall, walks out.
Not if Lloyd's telling the story. No, if Lloyd's telling the story, he bicycle kicked him like Liu Kang, and
He
then
said I
summoned.
sized him up. He didn't look like he knew it. Fucking
I like
3
that
years of jujitsu tops.
Yeah, the creator of Mortal Kombat actually appeared in the bottom of the real life screen. Was like Toasty in the middle of him
I like
kicking
that-
his ass.
I like that I told stories about Bert and Joe jump kicking people and shit. And you guys are like, it's all about you. Thanks.
It's gonna happen. Tropes are gonna happen.
The comedy podcast. What do you want from us? Let's lead with this. Speaking of comedy, goddamn Blake fucking Hammond crushed it. Carl
yeah.
Spaeth.
Oh my God! Yes.
Everybody at that show: Carl Spaeth, Asa Dwyer, Lee Kimbrell, and I'm forgetting a fucking
Mark
name.
Chalafoud.
Mark Chalafoud. They all.
Mark Chalafoud had me, dude.
He's
Whoa.
a funny fucking dude.
I didn't
What
want
an
him to be.
amazing guy to open.
This sounds
Or
shitty.
no, he didn't open, did he? No.
This sounds
Carl
shitty,
did.
but looking at his face, I didn't want him to be funny. I was like, nothing about this guy strikes me as funny. I
He-
don't
yeah,
like
he-
him.
he looked like a camp
immediately
counselor.
crushing. Yeah. He looked like I dropped my kid off at school, and there's a guy that stands outside and just looks like the least funny, just most serious. Reminds me of pricks that I knew when I went to school. He looks like one of those guys, and I was like, I don't like him. And then he opened his mouth for 1 second, and I was like, fuck, I like him.
To me, he was like that spirit guy. Like, come on, guys, let's get more cheer on. You know, like that guy. But he wasn't.
He looked
wasn't.
hateable, but I
Yeah,
He
there
looks like
he was
what I-
hilarious.
He looks like what I assume Pete Holmes' best friend looks like.
Dude, I fucking love Pete Holmes though. Let's not shit on Pete Holmes. I
wasn't.
fucking love Pete Holmes.
But I'm just
Okay.
saying, if Pete Holmes was like, oh, my best friend's coming, you'd be like, yeah.
Dude, when what was it? His first Comedy Central Presents, like 2009 or something like that. His joke about leaning on his meat shelf, his ass with the hip. I was like, I can't relate to anything more. I completely understand what he's talking about right now.
Do you?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, that show was fucking phenomenal. It was
Yeah.
genuinely
Congratulations, Blake.
I'm not just hyping this up because like Blake's my friend and shit, because I have them on my podcast. And
Blake's
I like
listening right
Cincinnati
now. Like,
comedy.
I wouldn't go that far.
They are genuinely, all of them were just as funny as any like headlining comic I've ever seen. And I've seen a fuckload of them. I've seen Attell, I've seen Stanhope, I've seen fucking. We're about to go see Cummins this week. Actually, I've seen fucking Fight Ants. I mean, I could go all the way down the line. I've seen a fuckload of people. I have a pretty good barometer for what's funny and what's not funny, and I'm not overhyping this. They were as funny as any national headliner that you'll see. Period. All their material was tight as fuck. All of them were fucking solid. Blake crushed, and I'm so stoked that we went to the Late Show because I guess the Late Show was feeling it so hard. Drinks flowing, everybody's laughing. He sees his friends in the fucking crowd, and he went for it. He went for it with jokes that he didn't otherwise do. You could tell that he was kind of like sketchy on the material a little bit, and it made it more fun for me to like, oh, he's taking chances. He's taking chances on the Amazon special. He might cut it out, but like, oh fuck, he's going for it, and they fucking nailed it. Like crushed it every time. He was going dark. He was being fucking like funny as shit the entire time. I loved going and seeing that. I don't get to go out to a lot of local shit very often, but that was a beautiful experience.
I really liked it because I got to have one of those weird moments where I had done workshops with Blake 5 times at this point, and I can't remember one of the 2 jokes that I had heard in workshop before, but that pop punk joke was one of them. So it was really cool to like hear him talk about a joke like at the workshop and hear like the outlines or like the one-liners, but then to see it actually flushed out in full color, like the way it was supposed to be, and not just, hey, what do you think about like this and this? Because I'm thinking about like this is the premise, to actually see it from A to B. It was awesome.
It was
really
hilarious
cool
to see it in Motor. Like, I don't know how they're going to film it, how it's going to look when they're done, because it's a row of fucking chairs in an old cellar basement is what it felt like. And just...
It was leaking.
I was getting to that. Yeah, they fucking... every comedian addressed that there was a leaky pipe, and I swear to Christ,
it fell on Blake like 8 times. He said not a fucking word about it.
I didn't see Blake... I didn't see it until Blake got up there. I heard them talking about it, and I was like, they're comedians, they're joking. Maybe one water drip came out. Apparently it had been leaking heavy all fucking night, and I just didn't see it. Something about how Blake's giant body blocks out the light. Let's just see water driplets a little bit easier, but fucking when he got up there, it's pouring on him essentially. A steady fucking piss trinkle out of my fucking my wart fucking ridden tiny dick is what it looked like when I go to take a piss at the urinal. Is just Blake's just basically eating water
blood.
the entire less blood, yes, less scabs in the piss, but just dripping on him. He didn't address it once, which I don't know, indifferent to it entirely. I just thought it was funny, like that's gonna be in his Amazon Prime special. It's just a leaky fucking pipe dripping on his face. In that moment, I was like, is there not there's no way you didn't notice this in the earlier show. Is there not a duct tape roll in the entirety of Motor's fucking business or the next door businesses? Can we not get a roll of duct tape to fix this for the Amazon Prime special? Like how little did the fucking staff care about that? Like, I don't want to shit talk Motor too much, but goddamn, fucking next time, Motor.
It's that Motor
Look
charm.
out for the motherfuckers that are fucking performing and filming Amazon Prime specials in your basement and shit like that. But other than that, it was a phenomenal fucking time. And that didn't ruin it by any stretch, but I just felt bad for the comedians that had to like dodge water droplets as they're like trying to tell jokes and make me laugh. The crowd was great. Everybody's laughing their fucking dicks off.
Yeah.
And got to bring Redbeard. Redbeard was even fucking stoked on how funny they were. And he knew nothing about these people, had no expectations, and fucking heard the same thing from him, heard the same thing from other people that were there. Man, he crushed it. I just have to overhype it a bunch because... Not overhype it, but I have to hype it a bunch because I want people to go out and check it out. Like... I was just talking to Blake today about it, and he was like, for real, I'm glad you got to come and see it because the Cincinnati scene is crushing it right now. Like, crushing it.
On all fronts.
And he was like, and it's beautiful, and when people come out and actually get to see it, it's a great fucking thing. So, yeah, Blake Hammond, I love you, motherfucker. I'm so fucking happy for you.
Yes.
Brings me to my next line of topics. Jeremy Johnson has a event that he's put together for Thanksgiving weekend. I confirmed all this. We don't have... I think we're going to go on Friday. We have to talk about this. I don't know for sure.
If we're doing both?
We're not doing both. We're going to do one or the other because he's splitting up all the acts. But there is the something volcano. Quaint Volcano, I think is the name of it. I should have had
Quaint Volcano.
You know what? Let me just pull the poster up. Let's do some due diligence here before we start just fucking rattling off about...
We got it right here.
Perfect. Yeah, Quaint Volcano Comedy Festival at Chameleon. It'll be November 26th and the 27th. That's a Friday and a Saturday show.
7 to 11 p.m.
That's right. The two podcasts that are on Top Bill. By the way, I was scared about the Top Bill spot, but he was like, I just made it that way because these are the only two podcasts that aren't comedians on the show. So I was like, whew, wipe my brow of sweat away now so I'm not fucking, so I can subvert some expectations on this. But the Bastard Sermon, us motherfuckers are going to be there with some
That's right.
comedian friends. People that are going to be on the bill will be with us. We'll be talking shit how we normally do.
Hilarious motherfuckers.
It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good-ass time. It'll be the same hangs that you get here, but live. If you like what we do here, come out and check that out.
And if you don't, there will be alcohol, so you will.
Yeah, you'll fucking love it. You could get drunk and just listen to me fucking babble to myself, and you'll fall in love with me, and we'll make out in the parking lot, and then I'll be like, ha, you have warts in your mouth. Roast Jeopardy will also be there. I'm not familiar with it, but I'm going to listen to it. Do you want to read off the other names of the comics, Luke?
Yeah, sure. These are the featuring acts that'll be there after we fucking blow shit up on stage. We've got Jeremy Johnston. We have Blake Hammond, Chris Seamer, Alex Leeds, Cal Jansen, Carrie C., Phil Pointer, Billy DeVore IV, Josh Faust, Johnny Barmore, Grant Stiles, William Alexander, Justin S. Adkins, Clinton Jacob, and Jeremy Lavender. Again, Chameleon, November 26th and 27th, 7 p.m. to 11.
We'll tell you what day that we're going to be there, but either way, go to both shows. I'm sure it's not going to cost much
100%.
I don't know the price. We'll tell you that as we know. You'll hear us talking about this event a lot, but if you want to come and see Bastard Sermon live, we haven't done one of
Our
these
first
since the
ever?
Pike. Well, no, we did the Pike Tattoo Company.
Oh, yeah,
but
that's
it's
right.
a little different. We did two of those. I wasn't there for one of them, but that was years ago, and we were going to do Bastard Fest, but COVID canceled it. So if you want to see like the first, like we've got live mics on a PA system version of the Bastard Sermon, come out and fucking check it out, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. We can move on past that now.
Yeah, are we getting
Sorry.
to the weirdness now?
Yeah, 100%. Did you have something?
Dude.
I've been talking for so long.
Fucking, I'm getting motion sickness in the VR.
That's a thing. It happens to a fuckload of people.
I bought fucking Resident Evil 4, and I'm just getting sick all over the place.
Are you throwing up?
Not yet,
Are you
but I'm
feeling like
sure
you're
I
gonna?
will.
What is it like? What is it that triggers it?
So like I'm standing still, but as I'm moving around in the world, I'm like flying, like moving so goddamn fast. So like if you know Resident Evil, you save at a typewriter, and I ran up to it real fast and I pressed A to initiate it, and in VR you can like type on it and whatnot and hit enter. But now, so like I walked up to it and I pressed A and it reoriented itself. So like it made my character take a step back, darken the area. When it reoriented the room and my character took a step back, I was standing still. I lost my balance. My equilibrium changed. Like I fell backwards, so I could like get into the position that my character in VR was supposed to be. I just fell the fuck over, dude. I'm getting sick.
Yeah.
Like getting sweaty. I gotta like take it off, lay down for like a couple minutes.
When I was playing it, there wasn't a lot of games where you're moving a lot, and if you did, it was the point and click. So like the movement was real shitty. So I feel like they've worked out. Have they ironed the edges out on that, like the movement problems that they used to have with VR shit? So you can move.
Dude, it's nuts because it's not just like, okay, you have two controllers, you got a gun in one hand or whatever. Like you look down, you've got the whole strap on your chest. Like you got the knife over your heart,
and you can grab it.
Yeah, you got the
Ooh.
grenade next to it on the right. You got the clips down at your belt. You have to reload your gun and shotty and
so there's no
everything
button
legit.
like scroll through
Nope.
your arsenal of weapons. You grab
You
the
grab
weapons.
it. You got
that are
the
on your
you got
person.
the piece down at your right. You got the shotty up behind your back to the right. You got to like reach back, pull the trigger to like grab it and pull it up front.
So you get to know what it feels like to be a Trump supporter in a McDonald's at any given time.
and kill zombies. Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude, it sounds fucking live, but like I imagine that motion is gonna create some head spinny moments
fine,
and shit like
though.
that. I mean,
That's
you'll get
fine.
over it. Don't be a pussy.
Oh,
It's
I
like-
won't. Dude, I'm looking forward to my first acid experience on this. I really am. I'm trying to like yeah, Resident Evil scary, but I'm looking for some real weirdness on there, dude.
You're playing 4 on there?
4?
Resident Evil 4?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So you're watching. So the crowds are coming after you because they one of the setups for one of the Resident Evils, the trailers that I see on the little reels on Facebook, dude's running right, and then it was just like it pulls up a something phobia, and it's the fear of crowds, and I was like, why are they doing that? And he turns around, and the entire village is following him, and you find out why he's running.
Yeah.
It's like, oh fuck, they're right there. It would scare the fucking piss out of me if I was actually, because I've been in VR and horror games before. Not a big horror guy. Man, it is intimidating when something's coming at you, even if it's a digital image of something, you feel like you're in the room with it. Like everything except for the smells are there. And put a piece of rotten meat in the room with you, and you'll get all the smells you need.
No, it's very real because it's like early in the game, you walk into this hut and there's like a dude waiting for you around the corner. For real, felt like I was being assaulted by an adult.
It's
like,
scary as fuck. Yo, the next generation is gonna be talking about their PTSD they got from playing fucking VR video games. Can't wait for that. This is
gonna be sick.
Dude, therapists are fucking just investing in fucking Oculus right now. They're just dumping money in Oculus right now. Like, this is gonna be fucking great for my paycheck in 10 years.
Dude, yeah, it is. It's scary as fuck. The crowds, yeah, like you walk into the city, there's 4 dudes like doing farm work, but as soon as they see you or you shoot one, like the whole squadron is after you.
Is that the only game that you're fucking with right now?
That and Gorn, but Gorn is just fun and nonsense. You're in a coliseum, you can just rip a gladiator's heart out. You can just rip
I've
his
seen that
arms
game.
off.
That looks
dude.
dope.
It's dope as shit. You get lobster claws, dude. You just pinch this guy's fucking dome off. It's nonsense.
Have you seen the one that's like you're on a floating like piece of land basically where there's just like air around you and clouds, but like you're on like almost like a farmstead with like a big building, and you get all these guns, and these dudes just stand there, and it's just a free-form way for people to just go around and shoot things in the face. But you can like jump off a building, fall down, trick shot, shoot them, fucking throw your gun in the air, catch it. You actually pull your clips out. You can throw your clip, turn your gun upside down. It'll catch the clip if you aim it just right, pull it back, shoot the guy right in the face, and then reset whenever you want to any point on the map. You can run up the sides of the walls and shit like that. This game looks fucking incredible.
No, I haven't.
It's
This
just
sounds insane.
It's a tester game, so it's not a real game where there's like objective and points and like there's not even like they're not even running around or like coming after you. It's just fun to like in VR like fuck around and like shoot people and like just do graphic horrible things to people. But the ragdoll physics look fucking insane. It just looks like a marvelous gaming experience for just like I don't feel like a gamer anymore where I have the motivation to work towards unless it's a 10 out of 10 fucking one of the best games that are going to be released, not just for the year, but for the half decade. I'm probably not playing it. Like, unless it's one of the, like, I just don't, I have the time, but I don't have the motivation anymore. But I could definitely jump into something and play a fucking fuck around like that, and it looks like one of those, like you were talking about with Gorn, just like a fun jump into it, fuck around, have a good ass
Dude, I'm
time.
going to get it on your head at some point.
Yeah, I haven't played the newer shit. I've played
I'm
Sean's.
going to get on your head.
I played Beat Saber, wasn't a huge fan, but Space Pirates I loved, but it was a fixed platform style game, and like the bots come at you in waves, and you have to like attack them and defend against them with your little shield, like shoot at them. You could do Matrix shit to dodge them, and eventually they start surrounding you at all sides, and you've got to like look around, and you got to do some fucking. I'm doing like fucking cartwheels and shit like that. I probably look like the goofiest beatboxer of all time, breakdancer of all time. Fucking just like trying to spin on my head. In my head, it looks super cool, but it's like when I look back on videos of this podcast, and I'm just like, oh, there's a little hair that's just here underneath my cap for the entirety of the podcast, and I didn't adjust it till 50 minutes in. Oh, that's what my face looks like. So everybody else watching me, oh man, what a dork! What a dork is playing Space Pirates right now. But you feel like Keanu Reeves in The Matrix.
That's a fact.
It's phenomenal. Yeah, let me check my head real quick because I noticed that in the bird episode, there's literally now that we have high definition cameras, there's one hair just here. Just in a little loop the whole fucking time we were recording, and I couldn't get over it.
If I
when
see
was
any
editing
hair
the
in your
video.
face, I'll brush it out gently. I might give you a little kiss after that.
Thank you. Yes, I'd appreciate that.
Just lick your finger.
Mm.
Smooth it over.
I might moan in the middle of it too.
Oh yeah, Daddy, please. Are you thinking about Omnitread? Is that something that's within
Too
your
much
financial
money.
ballpark?
No, not at all.
How much is it? Aren't they
Probably
making it
way too much.
It's probably like $1,000. There's one that you could do in your socks though now. Like it used to be like way goofier, but like there's one that's like in beta right now, which means it's about to be released as a full version where you can get it, but you have to accept that it's gonna have major problems and you can't like fucking you can't be like
$7,995.
yeah, nah. You want a new
eBay. car?
car? Or do you want an Omnitread? Like I think that I would rather have an Omnitread, never fuck women ever again. Fuck rock climbing when I could do it in VR.
Right.
VR rock climbing.
Hey, there's free climbing in VR, dude.
This is
I
way
bet.
easier.
Hey, but all right, so let's get Lloyd in the conversation finally.
Please.
Dude, we watched some fights this weekend, man.
Let's go.
They were pretty
fucking
great.
good, Yeah.
They were brutal.
What fights did you guys watch?
It was the Glover Teixeira versus Jan Blachowicz for the 205-pound title.
Shouts
Yeah.
out to Shara.
Yeah, Glover came in and actually he made me money too.
Yeah. Lloyd had some bets on my bookie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one did. I made a bunch of like weird prop bets because like I put money in there forever ago and I made like $500 something off like 2 fights.
Yeah.
And then I've just like bet goofy shit off of there, and it's been up and down for like the past couple of years. Like I don't bet on it to win money. It just makes it more fun. And so yeah, I did a bunch of goofy bets, you know, like prop bets on like the last 5 fights or whatever, and most of them turned out, you know, as I expected to not be anything. But that last one, I was like, I think Glover's gonna submit him. And yeah, it paid out like $212.
Nice. God damn it.
But yeah, all the fights were fucking pretty solid.
I wanted to watch the first fight that I kept hearing about this referee dropping the ball on. I wanted to see this guy get the shit.
It was so
kicked
fucking
out of him.
gnarly. There was this French guy, a French kickboxer, and some other dude, and the other dude just like lit him up in the middle of like I think the second round or whatever. And everybody's like, "Oh, this fight's over." Like the guy's standing against the cage, like you can see him like going out and coming back in as he's getting hit. And all the announcers were like, "Oh, okay, that's the end of the fight." And the ref just stood there and watched, like he's still standing up. It's fine. Like no concern for like fighter safety. It's just like because it was in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
And this is a ref from like I guess over there, and he was just like, yeah, very much like if he dies, he dies. Kind of like like you just see him. He's just got this like very serious like scowly face the entire time, and he's watching this dude get fucking annihilated. And the guy, like, I mean, the guy literally goes out at one point and then gets hit again and like wakes back up and just starts winging punches that aren't close. Nothing. He's not defending himself.
Just trying to survive.
Yeah, and the ref just lets it go until the fucking bell rings. That dude just like zombie stumbles back to his fucking corner, and like the announcers are losing their fucking minds. Like I thought Paul Felder was gonna like jump over the fucking cage and like fight the ref. He's like, what the fuck is he doing? Like you could hear, like he was that close to like just screaming, what the fuck? He's like, what the? How's he? You stop the fucking fight! Stop the fight! Like,
Yeah.
And DC, like Daniel Cormier, he's like, I don't understand. I don't understand what's happening. Like,
Yeah.
and
Their brains were just breaking.
and then you can see Mark Goddard, who's been like he's a ref in the UK, and he's been doing.
Oh,
it for,
Jimmy Neutron's dog?
God damn it.
Sorry. Goddard? Okay, I'm sorry. Keep going.
He's been a ref for a really long time, and he's like highly respected, and he was like the head ref for the thing.
That was for Luke, by the way.
So there's always one official that's in charge and like runs that side of things. You could see him outside the cage pacing back and forth, losing his fucking mind. Like you literally see him like walking back, and I was like, during the fight, I was like, "There's no way this dude's reffing another fight tonight. Mark Goddard's gonna lose his fucking mind on this dude and like pull him." And then as soon as the fight was over, like in the like before they even got to like the tail of the tape for the next fight, they're like, Mark Goddard has informed us that ref will not be reffing any other fights tonight at all. So yeah, it was wild to watch, just like a dude just. And I mean, props to that dude because he came back out swinging in the next round. Like he actually clipped a guy and wobbled him.
Go ahead.
I was going to change topics. Keep talking about fighting, though.
Oh, dude,
it
I
was
saw
sports related.
from everyone's reaction. It's just it made me think that the dude is just a complete moron. But the way you phrased it at the beginning there makes me wish it was exactly like that. Like they actually pulled this man from some underground fights. Like he's just watched murderers kill murderers with their bare hands.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
like some like deep fighting ring. He's just like, what? Like,
these
why am
fights
I? Why am I? His brains are still in his skull. Why would I stop this fight?
Well, I mean, you could tell like he had that like vibe of like, oh, well, I mean, he's still standing on his feet, so he's fine.
Right.
It's like
Right.
he's been concussed for the past 7 minutes. You've been letting him get punched in the head for 7 minutes after you could tell he was seriously concussed.
Well,
Like,
that's because his opponent's taking his time with him. Duh.
yeah,
Like,
he's like just cat playing with the mouse before he kills it, right?
yeah, I've seen this hundreds of times. Like,
It's like I don't want to know what fight league that he normally refs for or
Abu
whatever.
I do.
Rob.
I do. I want to know. Find me that dark website, dude.
Bestscore.com. Yeah, you can find plenty of those fights. Those old Kimbo Slice backyard fighting fights.
Dude,
he used to
some
refo.
Ashra tournaments.
I just said refo. He used to referee fucking Kimbo Slice backyard fucking Florida tournaments. you ever see the one with Kimbo and the police officer? I'm sure you've both seen it in the parking garage where the officer wins, but I don't know that I would call it a win. His eyeball is bulging out of his fucking crushed orbital socket by the end of it. His head is so swollen it looks like the level of blackness that Kimbo Slice is. He's purple. He's completely fucking purple. Like, it looks like he's in blackface from how much he's gotten fucking beat down. He's like, and the winner, I guess. They're doing 30-second fucking counts and shit like that because they've got like fucking gangster money on the line. There's heroin money of hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of heroin money on the line and shit like that. So yeah, naturally there's a 30-second count for these fucking fights against these goddamn animals, and that's the referee that they chose. Like that guy was where he was fucking Now let's get him over to Abu Dhabi and fucking have him do some shit over here. I was gonna ask you, Lloyd, how did you feel about the Bengals loss? I think that it's completely in line with everything that the Bengals have been doing recently this season. Like normally a Bengals loss is like so like egregious at this point in the season as far as what I've seen, where it's just like fucking, oh yeah, the Bengals lost by 17 points or whatever the fuck it is, and it's like, yeah, of course they did, fucking cocksuckers. I'm still watching the next game with my Bengals face tattoo, but fucking goddamn pieces of shit, Marvin Lewis, all the things that I've heard over the years and whatnot. But they lost by 3 fucking points, which is a field goal, right?
Yeah.
So like. And I didn't get to see it. I've been wanting to watch the season, and I just keep forgetting on Sundays to do it because I'm doing shit with my kids and stuff. And I think Sunday was Halloween, so it wasn't like I wasn't like I'm gonna watch football instead of fucking be there for my kids. Fucking my son's first, he gets to go trick or treating experience because COVID.
Cute little Drac.
Yeah, it was great. I'll talk about that later, but I want to keep watching it, but I end up looking up the scores because ever since I watched that one game over here at your house, I've been fucking genuinely excited about football again. And I've been excited when the Bengals lose that they haven't been losing by some preposterous margins. Like, people aren't even covering their spread bets based on fucking how good the Bengals are doing, even in their losses, which, I mean, sucks that they lost, but how do you feel about it? I'm talking out of my ass with just shit that I don't really know that much about, but, like, it seems like that even in their losses they're doing pretty good. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a game that definitely should have won, and just they didn't play up to the level that they
Did they get
have
fucked by
been.
a call? Because that's what I kept reading.
Well, yeah, but that game should have been put away well before then. Like, they were up plenty, and then it was one of those ones where I think coming off beating the Ravens and like the media being like, oh shit, these is real deal. They were their first seed in the AFC. Like, I think coming off of that, like, kind of that big head, going against a team that's only won one game so far this year.
Yeah. Well, aren't they number 1 in the AFC right now?
They were, yeah.
AFC, what are we, North?
Yeah.
Past tense.
Well, but I mean, they're not far. What are they, 2 now? Like, it's not like they're far off from one loss. But
Yeah, no, but
I'm proud of my fucking city whenever my city's crushing it. Like, I don't want to be a fair weather fan, but like it goes back into the fucking like Cincinnati comedy or music. Whenever people are doing cool shit here, I'm just stoked about it. I'm just like, this will bring more people into our city. This will make people pay attention to our city more. So I'm getting stoked about the Bengals again. I'm like, I don't want to watch a bunch of fucking losers suck dick the whole fucking time. Like, if we release podcasts every week, and maybe we do, and maybe that's why we don't get a bunch of listeners. I don't think we do. But if we did, where they just all sucked ass all the time, constantly, I wouldn't expect people to be like, well, they're from our city, and that's our boys, so we're going to... No, I'd expect all of our friends that are within the scene to be like, well, they fell off. No, we're not going to do your shitballs podcast. You don't put any effort. So why the fuck do people do that with sports? I don't understand it. Like, if a podcast starts sucking, people don't support it. If a movie fucking series sucks, they don't be like, well, Halloween 27 was great and shit like that. No, let a nude guy direct it. That's what happened time and time again with movies, with fucking any other entertainment shit. But sports, everybody acts like, no, that's my team. I'll fucking ride or die for these millionaires that don't know my name or live in this city for most of the year outside of the times that they're sleeping in Airbnbs and hotels when they're fucking playing the games and not fucking their girlfriends out in Florida and fucking London. Like, what? Why are you so ride or die for this entertainment thing? Like, I don't get that.
that's just part of how that entertainment thing works. Is you just have like a team and you go with that team.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I get it. I understand tribalism, but it's also like how silly tribalism is. I can't help but to point it out.
That's just like just to even think about getting into sports to me just sounds so exhausting.
You're so into sports. What do you mean? You love sports. You just don't love that sport. You go out of your way to go and hang out with Lloyd every Saturday, not just to hang out with a
I
friend.
mean, team sports.
You could give a fuck about that. You'd rather be taking acid and fucking sucking a
Yes.
zombie's dick in Resident Evil 4, but like
that. Yes.
you're out here every week and you love it. You love that sport.
To remember, like,
You
how
do
many
get it.
people are on the team? Like 30-something?
53.
53? That's so many names to remember.
You don't have to do that. Like you could just be like the most fair weather fan, or, not even fans, just people that watch it and know almost nothing about it and still enjoy it. I watched it with like almost. I'm like a fucking chick at a football game.
but
The whole time I was at Lloyd's house. What's the guy in the black dude? And when I say stuff, you can tell Lloyd's looking at me like the way that I look at my daughter when she asks me why the sky's blue, and I'm like, do I tell her the real reason why, or do I pat her on the head, be like, that's cute that you want to know?
That's
Here's a
exactly
very
why.
simple-
That's exactly why I feel like even being a fair weather friend is just like, it's just a bold faced lie.
I'm not lying though. I did enjoy it, and for what I do know about it, if you're smart
'Cause-
enough to watch where the
but
ball's
I mean,
going
like, I
and
can't-
know the color you're rooting for,
I can't
you'll
talk
figure it out.
I can't talk about it with nobody unless the game is on. Like, I know people who are into sports. Like, did you watch the game? Did you watch Matthews ran fucking 53 yards, fucking 4 lateral with the play with the someone block? I'm like, I don't know any of these words you're saying, dude.
Speaking French
I
to
don't
me
know
right
what the
now.
fuck you're talking about, man.
that's
Unless
it.
it's on and in front of my screen and I watch the play happen right now. I don't know what
Well,
happened.
that's how you figure out those things.
But see, that's effort, dude.
It's really not. You just sit back and enjoy it, and you'll pick up the rest. It's kind of like
If
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
not-
enjoy it, I wouldn't fucking try at all to ask questions. But I only ask questions because I'm like, I'm loving this, but I just want to
Yeah.
know more now. But
Right.
Sorry to interrupt, but yeah.
I mean, it's no different than like watching fight every once in a while. You're like, oh, why is that?
Yeah.
You know, like when I was trying to explain when Dan Hooker's
Rooker-
arm was behind
Hooker,
it,
yeah.
and I'm like, hey, as long as he can keep from rolling onto that hip, and then as soon as he starts to roll over, I'm like, fight's over. Yeah. And then 10 seconds later it was, but it was same difference. I'm just explaining a thing that
He almost guarded that.
Also,
He
dog,
had
if,
his back on the floor.
dog, if sports ball is not your thing, I get it because it's not really my thing. But it was fun. It was so much fun when the team that I wanted to like for so long was crushing it, and it brought me back to the last time that I liked them when they were playing good, which was fucking high school. It was literally 9 years ago. It's the last time that I was like, they're crushing it. I have a team that I can root for. I want to root for the Bengals. My mom, Dolphins fan her whole life, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, why? She's like, Dan Marino. And I was like, whatever. But she was a Dan Marino fan, so she's Dolphins diehard all the time, constantly. And that was her fucking team. And, like, I didn't know if that my stepdad and her had money on the game. I assumed they did. But my mom would be downstairs screaming. You would hear it. It'd be
Oh, I
fucking
know it.
either Sunday or what's the other day? Monday night or fucking Thursday, right? Those are the 3 times. Any of those nights that there would be football on, I'd be upstairs and there's a vent that goes straight from upstairs to downstairs where they're watching it in the entertainment center, and you would just hear, "You motherfucker!" Like just at
Yep.
the top every single football
Oh, I
night.
know- I
And
know
that
what you
wasn't
mean.
my stepdad. That was you'd hear my stepdad grumble mumbling, and he's got a way louder voice than my mom. Outside of her being high pitched and cutting through, but she's fucking just going after it. She loves it. She's fucking
Dude,
super into
my
it. Like,
grandma is like 7,000 years old, has like an ounce of blood in her body that her heart is somehow like keeping or like coursed through her veins to keep her alive for God knows how many more days or hours.
just being
And
recirculated by insurers.
And the moment she fucking sees Notre Dame gets a touchdown, like her body regenerates and she de-ages like 20 years and she screams and claps like she's 5,200 years old again.
yeah, I see why. Have you tried to watch a game?
Yeah.
Well, recently.
No.
With the Bengals, though?
No.
Dude, give it a shot.
I
If you
don't
have a
think
Sunday
I've sat
free,
down
though,
and tried watching a game in over a decade.
if Lloyd's doing sports ball night where he's just sitting here quietly, come over here and fucking watch sports ball with Lloyd.
Ball night.
I think you'll enjoy it. I genuinely think you'll have a fun time watching it. And if you don't, call me an asshole. I don't want to get you into something. But I'm like, I didn't want to like it until couldn't fake my reactions over here. Like
no, he genuinely was getting excited, and it kind of surprised me. Like he went from, oh, okay, I guess we're watching football to like all of a sudden, I think we were watching a fucking Cleveland Browns game, and
we're watching the Bengals. Was it Bengals versus Browns?
No.
No, we were for sure watching the Bengals.
okay, well, Maybe
It was the one where they had to pull it out of their ass right in the fourth quarter. Like they were, like it seemed like they were about to get fucked all the way up until the very end of the game, and then they finally pulled it out with in the fourth. I don't know. I don't remember all the details of it. I just remember loving it the entire.
Yeah, but he was actually genuinely like, getting excited. Like he was making more noise than I was. Like I'm just sitting there watching. Like, huh? He's like, oh shit, yeah. Like
Because it was so close. The tension was real. When they're playing real good shit, like it's boring to watch a boring game. I don't give a fuck about a boring game. But they've been fucking playing their they're like, we're getting the Super Bowl ring this year, bitch. That's what it felt like. It was like, and that's what whenever I look their scores up, I'm like, you're playing like you mean it.
Are you
And
gonna
I was
have
like,
this
I'll watch
enthusiasm
that.
during baseball season?
I could have that enthusiasm during fights if I showed up during fights. I just haven't. I won't watch it on my own. Like I used to, and then it became so hard to look it up for free. And UFC stopped putting out as many free fights
and you
that
got
weren't
kids on
4 years
Saturdays,
old.
right?
Yeah, and it's a pain in the nuts. And I'm like, I could use one of my days in the bank, but I'm like, I'm gonna use it to sit with my friends and watch fucking fights. Nope, because there might be an event that I want to go to that is better than that. And sorry, guys. Plus, my energy wouldn't be that much applauded at the fucking, be screaming over you guys.
You would have
talking.
to pick your card.
I'm an annoying sports fan. Like, I know I am. I'm a fucking.
We would make sure it was a card worth sitting you down for.
Yeah, I would. Well, no, I like fighting way more than I like football because even the boring fights, quote unquote boring, are so much more high stakes to me and so much more personal. Football is pretty high stakes. I mean, you're playing with your brain constantly, but you don't feel the entire weight of the situation because you're almost watching it the way that you'd watch Madden, right? You're watching an entire team play. You can't focus unless there's like a cam that they put in, which occasionally, close-ups. Unless there's a cam that you can follow each individual player and slow motions of their heads rattling and watching their eyes roll back and snot and blood and fucking spit flying out of their mouths and seeing the ferociousness of it. It's easy to get disconnected from how ferocious football is from that fucking aerial fucking drone perspective. With fighting, it's super intimate. So even the most boring fights, I'm compelled immediately to watch people kick each other in the fucking face. It's awesome.
just higher stakes.
Super exhilarating.
It's exhilarating.
I'm sorry, I'm going so overboard with this. Keep talking about your fight cards, though. My bad.
Oh man, I have nothing to say after that rant.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
Someone start a topic because my brain just
Lloyd,
flooded.
I have a million, but I've been talking so
No,
much.
go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right, so we've talked about endlessly how me and Lloyd specifically, and I'm sure you do it, but how sometimes you'll just be locked into finding something on YouTube or Wikipedia or whatever it is, and you go down a rabbit hole about something that you know that you'll never actually invest any of your time in learning how to do, but you're going to learn how to do it on the internet. You're going to have a full comprehensive Harvard level fucking course of understanding of how to actually accomplish this goal if you were to ever do it, which you're never going to do. And you're going to spend literally 8 hours of your day, if not one day, several days a week, figuring out how to do this thing, how to master this hobby, and you're never going to do it. And for me, I found a channel on YouTube. I found two. One, SREE Tips, SREE Tips. And it's a gold and silver refining channel where this guy who's a chemist shows you how he takes down jewelry. I thought that you would melt down jewelry and that's it, and then you turn it into a gold bar because I'm a fucking idiot. Nope, there's a whole chemical process because there's different levels of gold, which I was like, what does the carats mean? And the carats apparently mean how much gold is actually in a piece of gold. They add other metals to gold to make it structurally sound, that way that it doesn't break apart. Actual 24-karat gold is a lot softer than a lot of metals. It's going to break like lead would break.
Yeah.
So you have to add other stuff to it. That's why you typically don't see 24-karat jewelry, and it's hard to make 24-karat gold. Why is it hard? Glad you asked, Luke and Lloyd. I'm going to tell you. It's because they have to melt down the jewelry, then they have to enquart it. What's enquarting, you ask? Enquarting is when they have to either mix copper or silver with the gold at a ratio of about 75% of the silver to the gold or copper to the gold in order to make a version of the gold that could be penetrated by nitric acid that has to be boiled for a multitude of hours in order to break that down. But the reason to use silver and not copper is because if you're also refining silver, you can take the nitric acid solution that has dissolved silver in it and create an electrolyte that you then can grow silver crystal within. And this is what I've been doing for free with hours of my fucking free time at any given time for the last week and a half, just nonstop. I fell asleep to one of the videos
You
because they
want
were
a
so
warehouse job where you can do all that? Because I know some people.
Dog, this is way more interesting, and he's breaking chemistry down. And this guy sucks at making
Like,
videos.
I-
Like he films shit super shittily. He talks over it mid thing. He never fast forwards. All of his videos are an hour minimum. He's like, I'm gonna show you how to make a gold bar, and he's gonna show you how to make a gold bar, and it's gonna feel like it took a week. And all the slow parts that he's fast forwarding through take fucking 15 minutes of no dialogue. And he has no backup music, and they get like 100,000 views. And he's not even trying to put background music. He's just fucking. You just sit there and watch a soundless video of a time lapse of a fucking nitric acid. And then I was like, well, this is where the nitric acid is done dissolving all of that. Now he's poured all the nitric acid off. I've got to a point where I understand it. He's using distilled water to now clean it until it runs completely clear. Now that he's got it clear, he's going to dissolve it in hydrochloric acid solution. But when you dissolve it in hydrochloric acid solution, you're going to have certain
Shut
trace
up!
metals. Exactly, but this is what I've been doing with my brain. So now
This
I
is
have
only fun if it ends up with Cody making himself a grill.
Or if he burns himself with nitric acid. Like,
Or
fuck.
Cody's just gonna show up to like a podcast missing like one nub of his finger. Like
I was making a gold bar.
everything that I'm saying though is not me trying to be funny. Like
It's
here's
you
my.
heavily intrigued. It's me going off about video games.
I
and
know how
mechs
boring
and
it
shit.
is,
Yeah, I
but
know.
dog, I just wanted to reiterate how much of my life I've been wasting. Just
Dead
in
ass,
this
if you want a
rabbit hole.
job where you can do that, I can probably make that
It won't be fascinating to me in the same way. It's got to really.
Because I didn't know all the details to it, but at Quality Gold, I worked there for like 5 years. Yeah, they do all that. I've held $2.5 million worth of like gold bars in my hands before.
It's amazing how much gold is worth. Like I think a troy ounce of gold is worth $58,000. A gram, it's $58. So a troy ounce was 28 grams. So no, it's not that much. So 28 times 58. So whatever that is. I don't know the math off the top of my head, but it's a lot of goddamn money for a little tiny piece of nothing. It's like, well, this little thing that's smaller than your pinky that's a $27,000 bar of gold. Like, huh? What are you
Yeah.
fucking talking about?
This
So-
shiny rock is worth a lot.
yeah, you see Fort Knox and the fucking solid gold fucking bars, and it's like one of those bars is worth like more money than you and all the people that you've ever known are ever gonna make ever for the entirety of their lives and probably their children's lives. Like that, it's insane to me how much this shiny rock is worth. And I got all this from getting. By the way, your fault. You asked me. No, go ahead, Cody. You have a topic. I sure fucking do, Lloyd. This is a whole fucking the rest of the podcast topic.
I'm not complaining.
I'll shut up if you guys want me to, but I have.
Oh, are
so
you about
much
to
on
go
this.
on and on about gold and silver? No, please.
No,
Next.
I was going into coin collecting after this because no, I used to be a coin collector. Yeah, and when I was a kid, me and my dad used to do it. So like, I got re-intrigued because my grandpa had been holding on to it because he assumes that I'm an alcoholic, drug addict, which he's right, but he's wrong about me wanting to sell it. I was like, I don't want to sell it. I like this shit. If silver ever goes up to $100 an ounce, I'm selling my silver coins, which I have a couple of that'll make me a couple $1,000s. Outside of that, I'm keeping the rest of it. My silver collection isn't much, and I have no gold, but I love coins, and I've always loved coins, but finding my old fucking, I have a giant, one of those totes, you know, the packing totes that you would get that are made of plastic with two fold over things, filled to the brim with everything. I mean, I've got fucking everything, mercury dimes and fucking, the entire statehood quarters collection and fucking like not the entirety of it. I have the other ones that haven't been booked up, but all the way up until 2007. And I've got the standing liberties, and I've got the fucking like a bunch of other
You
boring
can
shit
just
nobody's
make
gonna
shit
care.
up. Neither of us, yeah.
Yeah, whatever, pennies and fucking nickels and dimes and
You
fucking
know,
lions and
change.
tigers. Oh my, yeah, and I've got it all boxed up and labeled and dated, and it was like it made me so intrigued. I started looking up coin shit, which I eventually got to this fucking gold refining. But before I got to the gold refining, I found a channel called the Hoover Boys. These are some dudes from fucking like middle of nowhere Pennsylvania. They've all got Shane Gillis accents, and they're just fat fucking like middle-aged dudes, all except for one that works out for I don't know what reason. They just go out metal detecting up in the fucking like they just ask like random rich people that like their houses used to be like colonial and shit, and they just get stoked about finding just garbage in the yard. Like they dig this shit up and they're like, we found fucking belt buckles, fucking cool shit. I'm not doing a good I did a Bam Margera because that's the best Pennsylvania that I've got. But yeah, and they find coins, which is what got me back. I was like, oh, they're finding coins. They're finding, oh, that's a flowing hair Liberty, which is like the very first coins that we ever made, 1795 going on.
Yeah.
And no, 1792 going forward. If you find one of these Dismes, not dimes, but Dismes, DISME. One of them just sold at auction for $1.5 million, and this fucker found it in the ground. And he was like, "Never selling this." And I was like, "You're retarded! Sell it for sure, sell it." But it was like, this is fascinating to me that you just find shit in the ground, and if it's made out of silver, it's a little like darkened, a little patinaed, but it's fucking. It still looks like it was just hammered out the other day. And I was like, this has been in the ground for a couple hundred years. This is fascinating. And you see them finding gold in a river. They take these little fucking metal detectors and they go through the river and they find like gold watches and gold coins and fucking all this shit. And I was just like, man, I started looking up metal detector prices and started budgeting it. I was going to make metal, a guy that hates going outside. I was like, this is a reason to go outside. I would love to do this. And then I started looking up, I swear to God, I started looking up places in this area that had I was like, I know Ohio isn't that old, but it's probably close to old enough to where I can find some old shit. I was like, my grandpa's got a property, I'm going to ask him about it. And I was like, what am I doing? I don't have thousands of dollars for this crazy hobby. I can barely make it to a local comedy show. I'm over here pricing out metal detectors, dog. Like the little, you can, after you metal detect your shit and dig it up, there's a little, an attachment where you can it's like a wand you could stick in the ground and like find exactly where the coin's at. And I was like, that would be an extra $200. I think I could swing that if I just sell my kids at black market auction for, what am I doing? Why am I was getting stoked about this hobby. And then I was like, all right, I'm silly. And then I was like, what? Gold refining? What's that, YouTube? Fucking 28 hours later, I can tell you everything about how you can fucking refine gold in the pure 24 karat gold or 5.9 silver, which means it is 99.999% silver. The only reason it can't be 100% is because it breaks the second rule of thermodynamics.
I'm gonna fucking shoot you in the face if you fucking say anything about the rule of thermodynamics during this fucking podcast again, you son of a bitch.
Dog,
This
I just
motherfucker
wanna,
failed high
Shut
school
the
science.
fuck
He's
up,
over here.
dude. Why can't it be 100%, you ask? Because it would break the rule of fuck yourself,
the second
dude.
rule. The second
Fuck
rule.
yourself, man.
It's
Holy
been more
shit,
fun
dude.
watching Luke's face than like even throwing in comments. So if I'm more quiet, I'm literally watching like Luke. It looks like I don't know, the reverse of a panic attack. It's like he's losing interest, as like, you know how like when you see someone like starting to like panic or whatever, like, and they're getting worked up and they're getting like more and more tense. Like yours is just going the other way.
He's losing interest at a devastating rate.
You're like ice cream in the sun, just like everything, like your posture and your face is just like slowly melting away. As you
smile.
talk.
It was a roller coaster listening to it. At first, it started with is this what people hear when I talk about like model robots and stuff like that? People they're just like, I'm happy you're happy. And
Kinda,
like don't really hear the deed. And then I started thinking, man, I hope people don't give a fuck like this. Like
I got so fascinated I couldn't help myself.
and then I was like, man, I'm really glad my YouTube feed is as lame as it is, dude. I got like the history on Starscream. Like I got fucking histories on like old cartoons and
No, I
shit,
do
like-
that too. It's an unfortunate life that I'm living of just collecting information that I'll never be able to utilize.
That's
Do you
good
have,
for you.
Do you have anything on this? Like, I feel like this is something that you may have done with maybe a different topic, or any of this. Does any of this shit fascinate you?
No,
that I've
like,
been talking about.
Lily got into like gems and minerals and shit like that when she was young. So we've got boxes and boxes of all kinds of different. Shit. Like we go down to the gem and mineral show every year with my friend Tony and his daughter. And
Don't be excited about his shit. Be mad at him too. Hold on.
Hold on,
fucking-
wait,
Hold
hold
on, man.
Yes.
I have to give it
me-
a chance
give me
to
another
find out
30
if it's fucking lame or not.
yeah, give me
dude.
another 34 minutes of going on about it before you see how he reacts.
Let's fucking talk. We got to find out how she fucking breaks the third rule of
I got
thermodynamics.
3 sentences in. He's like, God, you're gonna listen to this lame shit?
I didn't hear anything about nitric acid in the start of this fucking story.
But yeah, like
Don't even get me started on sulfuric acid. All right, keep going.
God damn you, Cody. Yeah, I don't even know.
The Gem and Mineral Show.
Yeah,
You guys
yeah.
go down there every year because Lily got fascinated with it.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I get the finding like a weird hobby like that and getting into it
Yeah.
because like Lily would look up different stuff like, oh, I want one of these, and then we'd go find one at the next place. You know, it wouldn't be some crazy expensive thing, but it was one she just for whatever reason liked, and she
It
would
looked
like,
cool.
yeah, she would just like research shit before we went, and like, so like I got kind of into that more for her sake than anything else, but yeah. It was one of those ones where you're like, oh, she wanted this, and you rattle off the name of something, and you can just see it in everybody's eyes. They're like, I don't care. And I'm like, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I get it.
I also get why you guys hate this, but like
I don't hate it. This has been fun to watch.
I hate hearing you say thermodynamics.
knowing how
Makes me
stupid I am,
mad. It makes
knowing
me
just how
mad as
fucking
shit.
dumb I am. I'm not allowed to. I shouldn't be allowed to say that word. You
should
know
be-
that I've
you
regurgitated
need
something else that somebody else is smarter than
should've-
me.
You
So.
need to
should-
fucking like have some sort of like level, like you need to have some sort of pass that allows you to say it. Like otherwise, you
should've just-
Get out of here with your
can't say it.
GED, you fat-headed fuck.
You should have just stopped him. Like, good. What is the second law? Like, you
Yeah, what's
should've
the
made it-
first?
I don't fucking know. I just listen to a smart guy on YouTube tell me that. You're right. I have no business saying these words. I'm trusting one guy on YouTube, but he seemed like he knew what he was doing.
Right. My problem is when I get into something like that, I won't say something like that without knowing what it is. So one leads to the next, leads to the next, leads to the next, and all of a sudden I'm like, am I about to start reading on string theory at fucking 2 a.m. when I have to work in 4 hours?
I started getting there is
Right.
my problem. But, like, I don't know the second law of thermodynamics, but I'm one more video of him talking about it. About, all right, well, Harvard does have free classes for the next 3 months that you can watch online. I guess I'm going to listen to an 8-hour fucking audiobook while I'm blinking my eyes, barely awake like this, like I'm doing Morse code in the middle of a fucking Chinese prison, shit like that, trying to, like, trying to help, please. My parents' address is like with my eyes because I'm up for 3 days straight trying to pay attention to these fucking videos, and I'm writing shit on my walls and chalk pen. And I'm
like
fucking
a grease pen, like
Yeah.
fucking Goodwill Hunting, like writing on a fucking mirror.
exactly.
But every single thing you wrote down is completely wrong. Like if anyone else came in and looked at it, they're like, none of that makes any sense. Like that's not even a number. That's not.
It's like
that's
like
not a symbol used in
the-
math.
what is it? The Algernon story? Like they just gave this dude like a bunch of drugs. I'm smart as shit.
Yeah.
It's just
Or like that
scribbles
episode
on
of
the
fucking
wall.
Always Sunny where they
Yes.
convinced Charlie that he's a genius all of a sudden.
He's got all the shit on the walls with the
He just
blinds.
starts
He can
on.
speaking-
speak Mandarin,
just
but he
starts
can't.
speaking Mandarin to that guy, and like it's clearly nothing. They're just making noise.
Yeah, dude. I hope that I'm better than Charlie and Sonny, but I don't think I'm far off. But it was just so.
You're almost as amusing though, so that's
Oh God, that hurts me a little bit, but I'll take it. I'll take it right on the chin. But there was just something I really missed out not getting a chemistry class in my senior year because I skipped out going to chemistry. They put me in physics, which was supposed to be you could either pick physics or chemistry as your. You could do some base level
If you're
chemistry
smart.
shit. Yeah,
I could.
they put me in physics in my 11th grade year, and it was supposed to be a senior class. There was only 2 other 11th graders in the class, and they were talking about shit that I had to just catch up on, and I was like, physics is cool, but chemistry is the one that I want. And they're like, well, you can do chemistry next year, and I went to options, so I missed out on chemistry, and I've always been fascinated about it, and just watching this man, like, take, like, different acidic solutions and turn gold, like an actual metal, into a salt, and dissolve it, and then look at a solution that looks like Gatorade that's clear but yellow, and know that there's fucking $17,000 worth of gold in there that now can have I forget, something bicarbonate. I have to watch more videos, but he adds a powder to it, and it precipitates the gold. So as he adds this fucking what looks like Kool-Aid powder to it, it's the solution turns black, and all the gold starts like from a clear solution, gold starts forming. Like magic, like alchemy, starts like coming to the bottom and forming in the bottom, and then how he gets that into a fucking shiny gold, pure gold fucking thing is like it's like magic. It's everything that fascinates me about like dumb nerd shit. But it's real life. This isn't magic. This is chemistry. This is science. This is like shit. This is magic that you can do in real life that isn't even fucking magic, but it looks like it. It's crazy. There's weird fucking fumes coming off of it. There's reaction shit's changing colors. Like it appeals to all the dumb nerd shit in my brain. Like, not just the science of it.
Fast
it's not,
forward 3 months, and Cody's just like pouring Goldschlager through like a toilet paper tube with a fucking with a dryer sheet.
Goldschlager.
With a dryer sheet, like rubber band around it. Like, now if only I can find some carbamonic acid to dip.
Now I'm applying the lemon juice so it melts off the gay whatever the gay cinnamon liquor is.
He's like, I think Drano would do it, man. I'm pretty sure it's the same shit, right?
I think the more appropriate one is fast forward 3 months and Cody's making meth in his backyard.
Just shaking up.
Where's
pop
my
bottles.
sodium bicarbonate?
Yeah, it was fun to go down that rabbit hole. All right, we're at an hour. Hope people
I'm
listening
glad
to
you
the
like
rant.
looped it back around there to like it's like magic because like you were just going back into it again. I was like, how did this happen? Like,
Yeah.
how do we get back into the circle of how? Like,
Well, I try to make it appealing to your nerd brain, so maybe you could fall down this rabbit hole on acid.
dude,
one
I
day.
did with Full Metal Alchemist ages ago.
Dog. I mean, the same things that apply there
Why are we
apply
friends?
here.
Yeah, because science was considered magic. It was alchemy centuries ago. Yeah, 'cause they were too stupid.
Cody's like, I'm gonna figure out how to turn lead into gold, man. I got it. I figured it out.
Well,
I watched
dude,
enough YouTube
you can't-
videos.
That's one of the laws of alchemy, dude. You can't be doing that.
Read the message that I just got. Not out loud, just read it to yourself. We're at the end. We're at the end of our episode. Read the last message that I just got. Not out loud. We're at the end of our episode. I have a read that's going to be a little different than our last reads for our buddy Luke. Would you mind doing your read first while I pull up the new read for our friend?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Thank you, sir.
So we are sponsored by Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop.
Oh,
Scarlet
I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm so sorry. We're going to go back to it. If you guys want to hear the rest of this conversation, go to patreon.com. So everybody shuts it off when they hear the reads. There's more podcasts coming if you're a new listener. We're going to keep talking bullshit. Maybe not the chemistry stuff that made you guys all fucking fall asleep in your cars and crash into fucking kids in a crosswalk, but we've got more interesting shit coming. I've got all kinds of topics that won't be this boring on the Patreon. Go and check that out, and our entire archive of content, 50 plus hours and growing. There's Huckers Fuckers, my side podcast. There's the Bastard LLC, which we need to do Luke's episode of. That's our movie companion podcast, and there's the bonus episodes that come out every week, as well as an early access to the free show. So the show that you're listening to now, of course, comes out for free every Sunday, but you can get it on Saturday if Patreon doesn't fuck us. We'll get into that later. But if you want to check that out, www.patreon.com/thebastardsermon. $5 unlocks everything. There's no other tiers. If you want to donate more, we appreciate it, but $5 gives you fucking everything. I think it's very worth it. I'm sorry to interrupt your read, Luke. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop. They've got the best shit when it comes to smoking culture. I'm not kidding. They've got quality glassware. They've got the papers you need of any brand. Blazy Susans, Tops, Jobs. They've got them all. You know what I'm saying? They've got these excellent Grav Lib Labs Fritz spoons. There's some pretty nice bowls. I like the depth and size of them. You can pack them heavy. They've got an awesome AFM straight tube, 9mm, 18-inch piece there. It's pretty awesome.
I don't like science and nerd shit.
Oh, centimeters is too hard for you to understand? Okay. But anyways,
I'll get there.
So we're sponsored by Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop, so go check them out. Get those pieces, get Kratom, get your Delta 8, get your Delta 10. They have it all, and you can get 15% off your order if you let them know you're a bastard. And you can find them at one of two locations. They've got one at 11424 Montgomery Road, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45249. And the other is at 937 Monmouth Street, Newport, Kentucky, 41071. Go ahead and give them your money. Thank you.
Check them out. We love those guys. Anthony Tank Mansfield has his first solo art show in 3 years on Saturday, November 20th at Fretboard Brewing in Blue Ash, which is a suburb of Cincinnati. The show, entitled I'll Sleep When I'm Dead number 3, consists of 100 hand-drawn pieces of art being shown as one gigantic piece. The show starts at 4 p.m., and you can buy the artwork starting at 5 p.m., there's one for $25, or you could get two of them for $40. If you have any questions, DM him on Instagram at Neil to No One. Go and check him out. He's great. And check out his podcast, What You Into. It's all about hobbies and collections. It's in my regular rotation. He just did 2 live shows and some other shit. There's plenty of content to listen to, 40-plus episodes, so 40-plus hours, all free. Go and check him out. He's fucking awesome. As always, go and check out Fuck You, We Like the Bengals. That's Lloyd Johnson's podcast, host of The Bastard Sermon, as well as local comedian Alex Schubert's podcast. It's been inherited down the ages. There's been several different people that have done this podcast over the years, and it's been the proverbial torch has been passed on down to him, much like Lloyd Johnson's spot on this podcast from Patrick to him. This podcast is now in their lap, and I think they're doing a phenomenal job. They're nice when I interrupted them when I needed an SD card. So shout out to them for not just crushing my skull like Lloyd's capable of doing, like the Mountain in fucking Game of Thrones and just popping my eyeballs out of my head. They do not just straight up sports talk that might just be boring for even sports fans to listen to. They insert comedy. There's roast jokes throughout the entire thing. It's a fun listen. I've been there for the recording of a portion of one of it, and I've listened to a few of them, and they're all entertaining. And I'm not a huge sports fan, as much as I'm kind of dabbling with the idea of fucking with football again. If you're not into football, it's still a quality podcast to listen to, and I want you to check it out. Congratulations to our former host and our friend Patrick Sada on his marriage to Rachel. Very happy for both of you guys. Congratulations on fucking tying the knot and getting married and doing it in your little private way in the mountains of fucking who knows where, Kilimanjaro or
Fucking
wherever
hills.
the fuck you were at. Yeah, they seem like through their pictures on Facebook that they had a good time. Very happy for them. If you want to go and support Patrick and all the work that he's done promoting this show and getting this show together, go and check out Dark Mountain Cult on Instagram. He's got all kinds of art that's coming out on a weekly basis, sometimes multiple pieces in 1 week, and they're all for sale. You can commission them for pieces. He's got a fuckload of digital stuff. He'll make you prints. His shit goes on T-shirts. People get his stuff tattooed. It's quality. I love his art. Some of his shit that he's doing that's really good is the Pokemon series, the horror Pokemon. He's doing all kinds of gory, fun, pop culture, fucking weird shit. It's all stylized in a fun way to look at. It'd be a great wall hanger for your house. Go and check that out. Go get a tattoo from Nick Glavin. Go get a fucking tattoo from Bobby Bronson. Go and fucking support any of our friends that have been on the podcast. Lee Kimbrell hosts an open mic at the Hub in OTR every single, is that Monday? Is that a Monday? Yeah, so on Mondays, go and look it up and check it out. There's all kinds of other open mics going on throughout the city over at Chameleon. If John Holmes has some shit going on, check it out. If Cal Jensen's out there, check it out. Jeremy Johnson, again, go and fucking support the show that we're going to be on. Not for us, but for all the fucking cool comedians and also for us. On that fucking Thanksgiving weekend that we gave dates for earlier. We'll tag everybody in posts and shit like that so you know where it's at. Go and check all that shit out. If I'm leaving anybody out here that's friends of us, friends of ours rather.
Suck a dick.
Yeah, suck a dick and die. You're not a friend anymore. I hate you.
Fuck you.
Kidding. Go and support everybody that we ever had on here.
Or not.
Or not, except for the Nazi. Maybe not him.
Yeah.
All right. Patreon.com/thebastardsermon. $5, bitches. Goodbye.
Bye.